Hi, I'm Victoria Ballou, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm going to answer a subscriber question today that I think is relevant to something that we all want to understand, and that is, why is our waking life so prominent compared to our dreaming life? And what is the difference between our waking life and our dreaming life? Excellent question. We have the ability to unlock the secrets to our soul through our dreams. Our dreaming mind, which includes our subconscious and superconscious minds, allow us to bring forth everything that we need to be working on in our daily life. And by interpreting our dreams, we are able to understand through these encoded messages, these symbols, exactly what our subconscious mind is desperately trying to tell our conscious mind. Why? Because it wants the absolute best for us. It wants us not only to survive, but to thrive. And by understanding what is going on in our dreams, the messages that our subconscious and superconscious minds are trying to tell us, we are able to put those messages into action during our waking life. It is so important to do this. I have done this for the past 30 years because I began needing to understand what a recurring dream was for me. I knew there was a message there. And by the way, this is science mixed with metaphysical science, because I have read many books and I have studied with a lot of neurologists who examine dreaming, our dreaming mind, from a very scientific based perspective. We download, our brains are these marvelous, incredible computers that download our previous day, the information that we need to have stored in our systems to know how to react to things that come forward for us in the days to come. And so our brains at night are always downloading information to create new neural pathways that allow us to choose wisely how we go forward to thrive and survive. So that is always happening for us. And that's why we may not remember all of our dreams. We have REM sleep, rapid eye movement, all night long. And it begins with the shortest burst of REM. Right after we fall asleep, about 30 minutes, we will go into REM. Then we will have a break. Then we go into a longer phase of rapid eye movement where we're dreaming. And then we come out of that, and there are probably 4 or 5 cycles each night, with the longest one being right before we wake up. And we are downloading information into our neuropathways that allow us to know how to handle things going forward. This is how we as humans have evolved into understanding what is friend, what is foe, what is a good path to take, what is not a good path to take. So these marvelous computers of ours help us do that from a very logical, intellectual standpoint. But also, we dream in symbols. Forever, humans have dreamt in symbols, and it has been recorded for 4,000, 5,000 years. The earliest cuneiform tablets from Mesopotamia include Gilgamesh's, the king Gilgamesh, his dreams that would be recorded. So dreaming is something that comes very naturally to us, and it's essential to us. And the symbols are these recurring images, like ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics, that if we can decode them, then we begin to understand what our subconscious is wanting to tell us. It's something that Carl Jung called the collective unconscious. He coined that term, and what he's referring to is that we have this almost hive mentality intellectually in our sleep, where these symbols, flying, falling, arriving for a test that we haven't studied for, all of these recurring common symbols come to all of us, and they all mean generally the same thing. And why is that? Because we need to understand what these messages are. It is our subconscious creating this thesaurus, this dictionary for us that says when you dream about this, it means this. And it comes in these forms so that once we decode what flying means to us in a dream, once we understand what being on a boat means, once we understand these images and put them together, we have the message that then we can carry forth into our conscious life. Now, the question of why is this important is very clear at this point, because our subconscious wants us to succeed. It wants us to be at our very best, to live at our highest potential, and it keeps pressing us. That's what a recurring dream is. If you keep having a recurring dream, that is your subconscious mind desperately trying to get a message to you that it wants you to understand. So be very aware of that. Then we can take whatever that message is and move it into our conscious life, whatever it is. If we are dreaming about being not prepared for a test, showing up for a test that we have never studied for in our dreams, then that means that you are not assimilating information into your life the way that you should be. And there are ways to look at this, and it always, almost always, represents something from your previous day. This allows you to look at your previous day, recall what you were doing, and see how you were not assimilating essential knowledge from that you know into your previous day. By doing this, you are able to say, yes, I'm going to begin using this knowledge that I understand. And you can create a dynamic where you are able to solve a lot of problems, to achieve so many goals. If you're flying in a dream and this keeps recurring to you, this is saying, it's time for me to take off. This is speaking to you about it's time for you to literally fly in some way in your life. Well, metaphorically. It could be literally, but most of the times it's metaphorically. Meaning if you've been thinking perhaps about changing jobs or about moving to a better place, and you keep dreaming about flying, or if you're in a situation, an emotional situation where you keep dreaming about flying, this is saying to you, at least in part, unless that's the only part of the dream, it's saying to you, it's time for you to soar, to turn loose, right? So pulling together all these aspects, all of these symbols, and then one by one decoding what these symbols mean and understanding what that is, putting it into action, can change your life in the most amazing ways. It can eliminate your greatest fears. It can help you achieve your highest goals. I know from personal experience, and I have helped so many people understand where that message resonates with them and how to use it going forward. Now, the question also was, why is our waking life so, why does it dominate so much of our dreaming mind that we forget our dreams when we wake up? You know, I like to use the analogy of our dreaming time being like the moon. And of course it relates to it's nighttime normally when we're asleep and the moon is up, right? And it's this glowing, beautiful symbol for us where our minds are able to roam free without our physical bodies. And from that point, the most amazing things can come to us. And I can go into more of the non-physical aspects in another video. But when we wake up, when we move from our subconscious, superconscious states into our conscious states, it's like the sun rising. And even though, if you've ever noticed, sometimes when the sun rises, the moon is still in the sky. But you know what happens once that sun rises. Even though the moon may still be over here, here comes the sun, and it just totally obliterates us being able to see the moon. And that's what our conscious mind does. We operate in our conscious mind so much now, which is a good thing, because we are moving through our reality, accomplishing our goals, interacting with people, doing what we need to do. But we have truthfully lost so much of being in touch with that subconscious realm of ours and understanding how important it is. Because of the technology that we have today, being on our phones, being on our computers, we are so engaged with our conscious mind that yes, the sun comes blazing up every morning and just completely obliterates what that subconscious aspect is. That's why it's so important when you wake up and you're remembering a dream, even if it's just a fraction, even if it's just one symbol, two symbols, grab some paper, or for me, I grab my voice memo on my phone and begin saying the symbols that you see. Say it immediately upon waking, because again, that conscious sun is going to completely cause us to forget as we go through our day, even an hour later into our day. This is why it is so important to interpret our dreams. Remember them, interpret them, and then put them into action. It's a beautiful circuit that works. And then if you're having a nightmare, a recurring nightmare, and you interpret it, if you understand the message that's there, and then put it into your waking life in terms of what it is you need to be doing to address what your subconscious is telling you, you eliminate that nightmare. That nightmare will go away. And instead, the next time you begin dreaming, it will be something else that allows you to see that you have moved through that place. It really does work. And two ways to interpret your dreams. You can either learn how to interpret your dreams, what the dream symbols mean, and how to put them together. And that's what I will include in my channel here, along with tarot interpretation. But it also very much so talking about what dream symbols mean. Or you can consult a dream interpreter, like me. Find someone that you resonate with. Find someone that you trust and that feels like they are tuning in to what your dreams are saying to you and helping you then move it into an action during your conscious life to solve the problem, to reach the goal, to eliminate the fear, whatever it is. This will change your life. And I want to thank my subscriber for asking that question. I think that this will help so many people as they go forward. And thanks again for tuning in today.